PVL All-Filipino Conference had us at the edge of our seats with some exciting games and remarkable player performances yesterday. Joining us to break down all the action is the most well-traveled volleyball analyst in the PVL, Jamie Lavitoria. How's it feel to be back?
We have her live. We have her live out of her birthday dress.
Yes.
In town and ready to go.
Oh my goodness. If it's not in Ilocos Sur, it's in Santa Rosa, you're
Great
everywhere.
job, though. Great
Absolutely.
job.
Thank you.
For going around town
Yes.
and giving us the game.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
All right, so speaking of the games, let's talk about first the Choco Mucho Flying Titans because they seem like a team that has finally found their confidence, found their groove. What stands out for you?
Well, after playing in the VTV Cup, they definitely boosted that confidence. And you have to look at the efficiency of Dina Wong's sets. They're more consistent to CC Rondina, who does not like sets that are off the net. She wants it low and tight. And also, they have a lot of weapons. Caitlin Varai actually started yesterday. Kat Tolentino actually started
The other game.
against
Yeah.
Signal.
Correct,
So Coach Dante is really basing it off, I think, the blockers, I believe, their opponent.
But even when Kat Tolentino started the other day, she did very, very well.
Against Signal.
Against
Yes.
Signal, right? So, in terms of the lineup, now without Des
Yeah.
Cheng, unfortunately, it was great to see her there, though,
Yes.
supporting. What will you see in terms of trying to sustain what they have now started? They are 3-1, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Well, Des Cheng, not only did she help in the scoring department, but her receive is what is needed. Isa Molde definitely has to step up, and Reg Arocha, who actually started yesterday.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we need some consistency with the first ball.
Yeah, the consistency has to be there for sure. But I want to focus on CC again because the fact of the matter is, we all know what she could do. We all have seen what she has done, but it feels like she's rounded out her game even more now. Feels like we're seeing her in more statistical categories. It seems like she's all over the floor as per usual, but then even more effective than before.
That's right. Based on her invitational conference, I think she was slowly still getting in her groove, and now she's up to par with all the other spikers. And you can see that Dina Wong actually gives her majority of the sets, which is also boosting her confidence too.
Yeah, just to give the audience, what Paolo was also talking about, 5th best spiker, 9th best blocker, 6th best server, 9th best receiver. And, these numbers sometimes don't tell the story also because you have to see her play.
Yeah.
And you have to see her all-around value to this team to understand, how great of a player she's become.
Yes.
That is just beyond the spiking.
Yeah.
Right, Jamie? It's not just that
The
anymore.
blocking
Yes.
is what amazes me because she's such a small.
The leap.
Yeah, it's a leap, right? So it's small in stature, pero grabe talaga the way what she can cover.
Her skill set is beyond. She is very good, like you said, on blocking, but in terms of defense, because the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, before, you would have a difficult time of stabilizing the first ball.
Yeah.
And they actually do target
They
CC
target her,
Rondina
of
all the
course.
time.
Yeah, just like they target, the Tots Carloses of the
Gretschel,
world.
Vanny
Gretschel,
Gandler.
Correct, okay. Whom we will get to in a bit. But first, the other team, and we talked about them 2 days ago, Paolo, and again, they continue to roll, and again, they continue to win without dropping sets. Petro Gazz
Oh my
Angels,
gosh.
by the way, look, I don't know if I can say it, but they look bad yesterday with those black
Yes.
uniforms. I love it,
And it's
Jamie.
long sleeve.
I
It's
love
long
them.
sleeve
Yeah,
here.
I
Yeah.
love them. But talk about the Petro Gazz Angels and what they're doing.
Well, I had the pleasure of covering that match, 3 sets. All I have to say is the veterans are really doing their job. And they were going up against the #1 blocking team, F2 Logistics, and Ivy Laxina, who was the #1 blocker prior to the match. So you see that Cheng was really maximizing her middle blockers and avoiding and silencing Ivy Laxina in the blocking department.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. It's not really the undefeated record. It's more of the fact that they haven't conceded a set yet.
I know.
In those 4 games, and they play good teams as well. Teams that could steal a set from them at the very least. Just what is happening to this Petro Gazz team, and why are we not talking about them enough?
I've covered their past 2 games. They're very consistent, very steady, and you can base a good team off of their setter. I always give kudos to Cheng, really maximizing her spikers.
So good. And of course, they've made some additions, some low-key additions to this team that have made major impact to them, and we'll talk about them later. But Jamie, you know Coach Timmy very well.
Yes.
You know Coach Mona very well. What has been the imprint of Coach Timmy and the rest of the coaching staff here now taking care of this Petro Gazz Angels team?
Well, we talked about this on the game yesterday, and Coach Timmy did say that it's actually smooth sailing for them because they are veterans. And I think based on the system, which was from Coach Oliver Almadre before, Coach Timmy doesn't have to make too much adjustments, only because his team kind of has that mindset of, you know, been there, done that. I've already experienced this type of environment and type of play, and you can really see it in their match yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to Coach Timmy and Mona and Coach O,
Yeah.
and we've said this on the show many times before. Petro Gazz really is a team, probably the only team other than Creamline that can probably survive
No,
without a coach.
Yeah.
They're fine without a
They're,
coach.
you know, when we say that,
Yeah.
we joke about it, but let's say they play 2 to 3 games without a coach, they're just so into their system that
Intact.
You're
They're really
correct.
intact.
It's intact. Yeah.
All right, so the question now is not which team will beat them first. Which team will take a first set? Which team will take a set against them?
I have two choices.
All
there.
right.
The Creamline Cool Smashers.
Can't
And
wait for that showdown.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
it
great.
could be Cherry Tigo, who they play tomorrow. I chose Cherry Tigo because those group of girls are really feisty. They are multi-awarded UAP players, and you can see in their game that they're improving after every game. You have Nabor, you have Caganta, you have great setters who really maximize their spikers.
Yeah, remember, this is to take a set.
Yeah,
a
just
set.
take one set.
All
Like I
right.
said, but Creamline and Petro Gazz has always delivered the
Yes.
classics, even in
5
the
sets.
finals,
Yep.
5-setters. So we wouldn't be surprised about that. But the PLDT high-speed hitters is another team that you want to talk
Yes.
about. We've always, in previous conferences, said that there was something lacking. Maybe that ad-lib scorer, that go-to
Yes.
player. Now they have it. What has changed with PLDT with that element of having the go-to player?
Well, before it was actually Jovi Prado, and now we have Davison. PLDT they needed that go-to spiker that would get points, because most of the time you have attackers that make attempts but lacking in points. And Davison, you can see that she's slowly adjusted to the Philippine volleyball. And Rhea, who had 20 excellent sets,
Crazy the other day.
Yeah.
perfect game, perfect game.
You mentioned Savannah again. She's also in multiple statistical categories: 9th best spiker, 7th best blocker, 8th best server, and 7th best receiver. Do you feel that she's still on an upward trend? Because na-mention mo nga, adjusting to Philippine volleyball, still getting used to everything here. Do you feel that we've yet to see the best of Davison?
I think we can see more from her. It's only been the 3rd week, I believe, in the PVL. And, you know, this tournament is 12 teams. The very long tournament, it ends in December. So there's more that she can do.
And all teams are going to meet each other. I
Yes.
can't wait for the CC versus Savannah
That would be a good one.
showdown. But since you expounded on CC, expound on Savannah. What makes her special, and what do you think? Because when you look at her, when you cover her live, you see she's an athlete.
Yeah.
She's so
built.
fit.
Yeah.
She is so built.
So
Yep.
fit.
It's crazy. But other than that, she can do finesse. She is, you know,
Yes.
she's a thinking player. What, in your eyes, what makes her a complete package for
Well,
PLDT?
not only in the scoring department, but I believe a team always needs like a emotional leader. With F2, you have Abby Marano. Even if you're down, you still need that uplifting player. And Savannah, you can see that she gives her teammates that look, like, guys, let's get to it. Like, let's not play games here, let's win. And I think that's the missing link that the high-speed hitters have always needed on their team.
Nakakuha sa tingin, eh, no? That
It's
type
the
of
glare.
leadership.
It's the
Nahihiya
glare.
pa yan, ha?
Yeah.
Nahihiya pa yan.
It's the look.
Absolutely. You're not going anywhere because we have a lot more to talk about.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all the time. Download Pilipinas Live now.